just like I did last week, this week I'm breaking down the game that I think is the game of the week. And this week I got, the Seahawks versus Patriots game being the game of the week. And the schedule makers also seem to think this is the game of the week because it's on Sunday Night Football. So everyone gets to watch this game, and this is going to be a good game, a fun game. And to me, there's two big storylines involved in this game. Number one being Cam Newton. Can Cam Newton actually, be the guy in New England? Obviously, he looked decent to good against Miami, but let's be real. That's Miami, and they were throwing out some new things, Miami hadn't seen before, like the designed quarterback runs with Cam, and, all that stuff. But now there's, one game film out there. Yes, only one game, but still, it's out there. The Seahawks could have watched that and, came up with a plan to attack that, and now they're going to try to make Cam Newton beat them with his arm. Can he do that? Can Cam Newton actually return to form? I think that's going to be a big storyline because I do think the Seahawks are way more talented than the Miami Dolphins. So will Cam Newton be able to air the ball out to win this game? And with the Seahawks, surprisingly, for the first time, it seems like the Seahawks have an offense centered around Russell Wilson. They were actually throwing the football against the Falcons in week 1. Was that just a week 1 game plan? Was that just, the way the game played out? Or is that actually what they're doing? Because, in the past, and I've been pretty vocal about this before, all the Seahawks would do was run the ball with Chris Carson or whoever they had, and, in the fourth quarter, they'd be down 9 points. And then in the fourth quarter, they let Russell Wilson lose and have Russell Wilson, bring them back and win the game. Go back these past 2 years, 2019, 2018. Those are about 80% of Seahawks games. They have to come back. Russell Wilson's spinning them out 100%. So is this new offense actually centered around Russell Wilson? I'm actually curious to see that, because if it is, your NFL MVP is Russell Wilson. And I felt like I've said this many times before. I believe that Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the NFL. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is nice, but I think Russell Wilson, he carries that team a whole lot, and I think he deserves some credit for that. I mean, the fact that he hasn't won an MVP, I don't even think he's had an MVP vote, honestly. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, I think that's something to watch for. If the Seahawks actually centered their offense around Russell Wilson, man, the Seahawks are going to be very, very hard to beat. Now, as far as the matchups go, let's start off with the Seahawks offense versus the Patriots defense, because I really feel like that's going to be the matchup to watch. Even though Dante Hightower, Pat Chung opted out, even though Kyle Van Noy is already down in Miami, even though the Patriots lost some pieces to that defense, I still think they have a very, very good defense. And now you have what seems to be a passing attack centered around Russell Wilson. How is that passing attack going to do against that defense? Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty, and the rest of the boys, can the Patriots stop Russell Wilson? Obviously, Belichick's teams of the Patriots in recent years have struggled to stop mobile quarterbacks, whether it's Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes. They've struggled to stop those guys. Every time they've played, they've put up a bunch of points. And even last year, the Patriots went 0-3 against Deshaun, Lamar, and Mahomes. And, Wilson is like those guys. Obviously not as mobile as Lamar Jackson, but Russell Wilson, he's one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, he's up there with Deshaun. So, yeah, like, will the Patriots defense be able to stop Russell Wilson? And honestly, the way I see it, I really don't. Like, if they couldn't stop Deshaun, Patrick, and Lamar last year when they had more talent, I don't think they're going to be able to stop Russell Wilson. And I'm, no offense to Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes, but Russell Wilson is on a whole other level when it comes to the mental aspect of the game because he's been in the league longer. So, like, if they couldn't handle those guys, they're not going to handle Russell Wilson, who is way smarter. Yes, the Seahawks offensive line is a mess, but Russell Wilson always finds a way to make things work. I mean, he's got weapons. He's got Metcalf and Lockett. He's got Greg Olsen now. He's got Chris Carson, who was a threat apparently out of the backfield last week, catching 2 touchdown passes. Like, that's another thing. They also have the run game. Like, for the past 2 years, the Seahawks have been, like, so reliant on their run game. That run game's probably still there. Like, last week they didn't use it as much, but they can probably still use it. They could bring it back and run the ball. So I don't think the Patriots defense will be able to stop Russell Wilson and that Seahawks offense, especially if that Seahawks offense isn't a fluke. Like the one we saw last week against the Falcons, if that is the actual offense they're rolling with moving forward, it's going to be really, really hard to stop Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Now, in terms of the Patriots offense versus the Seahawks defense, well, here's the thing, man. Yes, the Seahawks have Bobby Wagner, who I think is the best middle linebacker in football. Yes, they added Jamal Adams, who I think is the best safety in football. And yes, they have some other pieces like KJ Wright and Shaquille Griffin, the corner. So, yeah, they have some other pieces, but it's that defensive line that worries me. That defensive line of Seattle's isn't very, very good. Like, it isn't good at all, honestly. Like, the Seahawks, they have no offensive line, they have no defensive line. So, that's why I'm not picking the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl, by the way. So, yeah, like, they have no defensive line. And obviously, from what we saw last week, the Patriots love to run the ball. They're going to be running the ball probably a whole lot this season with all these running backs, Tony Michel, James White, and, probably pick up someone else as well. So, they're going to be running the ball, and they might throw in some Cam Newton designed quarterback runs as well, but I do think they'll stop those because I think Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright are like really smart players. They'll sniff those out and stop Cam. But I feel like the Patriots offensive line will be able to get some push up front and they'll be able to get a run game going. Now, in terms of Cam Newton passing, I honestly think he's going to be able to get something going as well because I don't think too highly of the Seahawks players like that. Yeah, Shaquille Griffin's nice, but is he really all that great? Yeah, Quandre Diggs, he's okay, but other than that, I feel like Edelman can take advantage of them. I feel like James White out of the backfield can take advantage of them. I feel like even N'Keal Harry can get some things open. Like, keep in mind, Bill Belichick is still one of the best head coaches in the NFL. He's going to have the Patriots ready to go to play against this very, very good Seahawks team. Now, I guess you can already tell from what I've been saying, I think this game's low-key going to turn into a shootout. I really do. Like, yes, both teams have some very, very good pieces on their defense, but I just don't think the Patriots have what it takes to stop Russell Wilson, and I feel like the Patriots match up pretty well with their run game versus the Seahawks. So if you're an offensive person, you're probably going to love this game. If you're a defensive person, you're probably going to love this game. You're going to love this game regardless. It's going to be fun because this game's going to be very telling about the future with both these teams moving forward throughout the season. Like, if Cam Newton looks good, well, the Patriots, they're going to win the division. They're making the playoffs again. And if Russell Wilson comes out airing the ball out, the Seahawks are going to be a very dangerous team. But if Cam Newton doesn't look good, then, the Patriots are in trouble. They might make the playoffs, but they'll be an easy out. And if the Seahawks go back to running the ball, well, the Seahawks aren't really that big of a threat. Like the same old Seahawks type of thing. So, yeah, this game is going to be a fun one. Now, my prediction, I'm going with 34-31 Seahawks win. I think we're going to get Russell Wilson throwing the ball, impossible to stop. The Patriots are going to struggle to stop him. But I also feel like Cam Newton is going to dink and dunk his way down the field as well. The Patriots are going to run the ball, and it's going to be a back and forth display. Russell Wilson just airing it out, and the Patriots and Cam Newton kind of controlling the ball and driving down the field, going on longer drives, safer drives. I guess kind of trying to play the possession game, try to keep Russell Wilson off the field, but Russell Wilson, when he gets the ball, he just drives down and scores. That's what I think is going to happen in this game. Comment down below what you think is going to happen in this game, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.